the makers of Clippercraft clothes for men, and 924 leading retail stores from coast to coast, present the world's most famous detective, Sherlock Holmes. Here we are once again on the threshold of a well-remembered room. Lamplight streams across the handsome bindings of a cherished and well-read library. The fragrance of a bowl of ruddy apples fills the air. In a comfortable, worn leather armchair sits our old friend and favorite raconteur, the genial Dr. Watson.
Come in, Mr. Harris. Come in and welcome. Welcome to you and all our host of radio friends.
You look as if your summer vacation had been a huge success, Doctor.
Oh, it was indeed. I've taken off a bit of weight, don't you think?
Absolutely. How did you do it?
Oh, helping Holmes look after his blasted bees. Mary and I were down in Sussex for a month this summer, you know.
I had no idea beekeeping was so strenuous, Doctor.
Oh, it wasn't that so much as the fact that I was jolly well stung on the lip by a rampant queen. In consequence, I was obliged to partake of a liquid diet for one entire week. But that's enough about me. Suppose we get on to the person I'm sure our listeners are most anxious to hear about. The world's greatest consulting detective by his own admission, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
And which of his adventures are we to have this evening, Doctor?
Well, suppose I relate the case of the dog who changed his mind. It concerns a fabulous bottle of ancestral brandy and an old woman whose murder benefited no one but a famous society of wine tasters.
Sounds promising.
But before we become further involved, don't you think this is a good time to mention the gentleman whose courtesy, not to say checkbooks, have made this winter series of broadcasts possible?
A very sound idea, Dr. Watson. For our listeners should know all there is to know about Clippercraft clothes. As millions of men have discovered, they're just about the most amazing clothes values you've ever seen. And as you well know, there's a why and a wherefore for everything. In this case, it's the famous Clippercraft plan. By concentrating the buying power of 924 leading stores from coast to coast, you get all the advantages of steady year-round operation, all the savings in manufacturing and distribution costs. It gives you the benefits of group buying, plus the friendly personal attention you expect at the leading store in your community, at the store you can trust. And it doesn't take a Sherlock Holmes to discover that Clippercraft values are second to none. You can buy expensive-looking Clippercraft suits at only $35 and $40, with a few deluxe models at $43.75. You can buy Clippercraft topcoats and overcoats at only $30 to $40, and sport jackets at only $24. Believe me, this is your clue to clothes satisfaction this fall. Simply compare Clippercraft with clothes selling for many dollars more. Now, Dr. Watson, what about the case of the dog who changed his mind?
Right, yes, let me see. It was in the good old Baker Street days, a rather gloomy day in late October, to be exact. We had breakfasted late in front of a sea-coal fire. With my body in one easy chair and my legs upon another, I sat listening with growing irritation to Holmes as he practiced interminable scales, roulades, glissandos, and what have you on his violin. At last, a particularly screeching dissonance was more than my frazzled nerves could bear. Holmes, must you do that?
Calm yourself, my dear Watson. I was not responsible for that last bit of cacophony. It was caused by the scraping of a carriage wheel against our curbstone. I rather think we're about to receive a client, a lady, rather slight and agitated.
Well, how can you possibly tell? You haven't even bothered to look out of the window.
My ears, Watson, are nearly as well trained as my eyes. The infinitesimal creak of the carriage springs as its passenger descended to the pavement indicate a slender person. The tap of French heels indicate a lady. The quickness of her step indicates that she's agitated. Yes, decidedly agitated.
I must say, Holmes, you have ears like a hawk.
Yes. Your metaphor is a trifle mixed, my dear Watson, but I accept your tribute. Come in.
Mr. Holmes? Mr. Sherlock Holmes?
Naturally. This is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson.
Oh, how do you do?
Oh, thank heavens you're at home. You must come at once, Mr. Holmes. She's been murdered, I know she has, and they'll blame Reggie. Dr. Tillinghurst is sent for Scotland Yard. Oh, Mr. Holmes, can't you do something?
My dear young lady, I can do a great many things, but not until you could give us a coherent account of your difficulty.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I have made a fool of myself. But the whole thing is so impossible. You see, she'd never commit suicide. Even at 89, she enjoyed life tremendously. And no one could have killed her because she was alone with the door bolted from the inside.
Who is this remarkable old lady, and why should anyone want to kill her?
She Wilkinsop. But who in the world would want to harm her? Oh, I'll admit she was eccentric and difficult at times. You know the French, Mr. Holmes. But it didn't frighten anyone. Not even Bobo.
Bobo?
Oh, Bobo is her pug dog. Terribly spoiled, but devoted and funny, too.
Oh.
It was always with her, sitting on her lap or sleeping at the foot of her bed. Poor little thing. That's where we found him this morning when we broke in the door. Just stood there barking at the noise we made and wagging his tail at Dr. Tillinghurst.
Why did you break in the door?
Because it was still locked when Potters, he's the butler, brought up Lady Blenkinsop's early tea. She always locked herself in at night. Didn't want anyone to catch sight of her without her curls, I suspect.
But this morning was different, I gather.
Oh, yes, Mr. Holmes. I made her tea and a bit of toast at 9:30. You see, I'm her companion, but I do cook her breakfast and fix her a bit of lunch. There's a charwoman who comes in to do the heavy cleaning and cooks dinners, and Potters attends to the rest of the house.
Rather a meagre domestic staff for a person of Lady Blenkinsop's standing, eh, what?
Is she hard up for funds?
Oh, no, I believe she's quite well off. Her own money, too. Of course, the Blenkinsop estates went to Reggie when Lady Blenkinsop's husband died. He inherited the title, too.
Creating a certain amount of friction between the old lady and her nephew, no doubt.
Oh, no, Dr. Watson. They were devoted to each other. Not that they didn't squabble now and then. Like last night, when Reggie stamped out of the house when she took her birthday brandy up to bed with her unopened, without offering him a drink.
Well, surely he could drop round to his club if he wanted a nightcap.
Oh, you don't understand. Lady Blenkinsop's birthday brandy is very special. We've always looked forward to it. But this being the last bottle, I imagine she wanted to save it. Yesterday was her birthday, you see, and I baked her a birthday cake.
What happened last night is not what brought you here.
Oh, no. Last night was fun. Just Reggie and myself and Lady Blenkinsop and Potters, of course. She always gave him a piece of the cake, too. It was all so gay. This morning was horrible.
Right from the time you woke up?
No. As a matter of fact, Potters was whistling when I gave him her tray to take up. Here's Lady Blenkinsop's tray, Potter.
Oh, morning, Miss Kitty. A bit late this morning, aren't we?
A bit. I overslept, but it's all right, I hope. I imagine Lady Blenkinsop overslept, too, after last night's excitement.
I wouldn't count on it. She's a great one, her ladyship is. Next year she'll be 90. And here she is, as bright and sassy as the day his lordship brought her here, a bride from France. I'll never forget her driving up in the carriage surrounded with all those cases of brandy. Brought them over from France, she had. Said her father had sent them along so she'd have something fit to drink on her birthdays, at least. There were so many bottles I thought she'd never live to drink the last. But there's no more left, Miss Kitty. That one she took upstairs is the end. She always felt when that brandy was gone, she'd be gone, too.
Oh, nonsense, Potter. That's just superstition. Here, you'd better take her tea up before it gets cold, or she'll snatch you bald-headed.
And how could she do that when it's bald? I've been 30 years now. Oh, Miss Kitty, there's the front door.
It's all right, Potters. I'll answer it. Oh, Dr. Tillinghurst, good morning.
Good morning, Miss Kitty. Started to rain. I'll just leave my umbrella here in the stand. How's Lady Blenkinsop this morning?
I don't really know. I've just sent her tray up. I think she may have slept later than usual. Yesterday was her birthday, you know.
That's exactly why I dropped by. Thought you might have overdone it a bit. Can't be too careful at her age. Thought I'd like to listen to her heart.
I'll go up and announce you.
Good girl. I don't know what she pays you, but whatever it is, it's not enough.
Oh, I do all right. Besides, I enjoy my work here. She's really lots of fun.
And doesn't give you much time to yourself, I imagine. Hello. What's wrong with Potters? He's still standing outside the door.
What's the matter, Potters?
I've knocked and I've knocked, but she doesn't say come in.
Well, go in anyway.
I can't. The door's still bolted.
Let me try. Lady Blenkinsop? Lady Blenkinsop, are you awake?
That's Bobo. He's heard us.
But why doesn't Lady Blenkinsop answer? Open the door. Please open the door.
I think we'd better force the door. Come on, Potters, help me.
Yes, sir.
We'll use this heavy chair. Steady now. 1 and 2 and... Easy, Bobo, easy. It's all right, old fellow.
Oh, she's still asleep. But she's so white. Oh, Dr. Tillinghurst, I'm frightened.
I'll have a look at her. Where's my stethoscope? No pulse. Pupils contracted.
Miss Kitty, look there on the bed table. She did open the brandy bottle after all.
Don't touch anything. Everything must be left exactly as it is.
But Dr. Tillinghurst...
Lady Blenkinsop is dead. Poisoned.
Oh, no.
Potters, go for the police.
Yes, sir.
Tell them Lady Blenkinsop has committed suicide. Tell them to inform Scotland Yard.
But she wouldn't do that. I know she
Miss
wouldn't.
Kitty, I want you to go to the nearest apothecary's. I shall want some things. We shall have to make some tests. Meantime, I'll try to fasten this door. No one is to be loud in here. No one. Come on, Bobo. Come on. It's a good boy.
But she didn't kill herself, Mr. Holmes. I know she didn't. She was terrified of death.
Then someone else must have poisoned her. You did say she was poisoned.
Well, Dr. Tillinghurst seemed to think so. But who could have done it? No one could have got into the room. The door was barred on the inside. So were all the shutters, I noticed particularly.
Could anyone have been hidden somewhere in the room before she went upstairs?
Oh, no. I looked under the bed and the dressing table. She always made me do that when I brought her up to bed. She was terrified of the dark, you see. No, she was quite alone when she met her death.
Maybe she took an overdose of something by accident. Maybe the brandy was poisoned. Maybe she had a secret sorrow.
Watson, I abhor guessing games. I prefer facts. Get your overcoat while I summon a four-wheeler. It's vital we reach Lady Blenkinsop's house before Scotland Yard has had a chance to muck up the clues. You say that Lady Blenkinsop was French. You don't happen to know her family name?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. It was de Fezinac. Her father was a count.
De Fezinac. No wonder her bridal brandy was rather special, eh, Watson?
De Fezinac. Sounds vaguely familiar. Can't say I place it, however.
The de Fezinacs are a branch, I might say, the main trunk of the great house of Armagnac.
From which the name of the brandy is derived. By Jove, of course.
Oh, I do remember Lady Blenkinsop going on about her family's vineyards. It seems it was customary for every daughter of the house to take with her, as part of her dowry, 6 cases of the brandy that was bottled the year of her birth. Lady Blenkinsop always boasted that hers was a particularly fine year. She opened a bottle every birthday.
6 cases. Let's see, that's 72 bottles. Lady Blenkinsop was 87. By Jove, that means she was 17 when she was married.
All of which has no bearing on the case whatsoever. Never clutter up the mind with non-essentials, Watson. That's your weakness.
Well, who's to decide what's essential in a case like this?
I am. Tell me, Miss Kitty, who benefits by Lady Blenkinsop's death?
Benefits? Why, no one. Goodness, no one ever wanted her to die, I'm sure. We were all much too fond of her.
Let me put it this way, then. Who inherits Lady Blenkinsop's money? Her nephew, I suppose, and you and Potters have been left a small legacy, no doubt.
Gracious, no, Mr. Holmes. Lady Blenkinsop's last will leaves everything to a French society of wine tasters. The Chevalier des Vendages Anciens.
The Knights of the Ancient Vintages.
Go to the head of the class, Watson.
It's for the improvement of the French wine industry, you see.
You said her last will. How long ago did she make it?
Oh, about 8 months ago, Mr. Holmes.
Who was her heir before that?
Why, Reggie, of course. But you mustn't draw any wrong conclusions about that, Mr. Holmes. Reggie didn't need the money. Why, he's plenty of his own. Really, they were very devoted to each other. They just didn't always see eye to eye about certain subjects.
For instance?
Oh, I don't know. Reggie didn't approve of Bobo being fed sweetmeat. They had terrific squabbles about things like that.
What exactly was the squabble that caused Lady Blenkinsop to change her will?
It was all so silly, really. A tempest in a teapot. It didn't mean a thing.
What didn't mean a thing?
He's holding my hand. Reggie, I mean. He just happened to have handed me the morning mail, and he just forgot to let go.
Lady Blenkinsop didn't approve, I take it.
She was always afraid he would make what she called an unsuitable alliance.
The French point of view, of course, Holmes?
Not entirely. How did Reggie react?
He was furious. He said when he married, it would be when and how and to whom he dashed well pleased.
Bully for him.
But it's all so ridiculous. You see, Reggie never showed any interest in me before or since.
Pity, Holmes?
Oh, here we are. This is Lady Blenkinsop's house.
Gloomy old mausoleum, Holmes?
Hop out, Watson, and ring the doorbell. That's a good chap.
Oh, that won't be necessary, Mr. Holmes. I have a key.
I gather Scotland Yard is here before us.
How can you tell, Mr. Holmes?
Unless I'm very much mistaken, that's Inspector Lestrade's official umbrella still dripping on the vestibule floor. Perhaps we're not too late after all.
Oh, Miss Kitty, I'm so glad you've come back. I just brought the gentleman from Scotland Yard. He's in the reception room.
Well, if it isn't Inspector Lestrade, the watchdog of Scotland Yard.
Holmes, what in blazes are you doing here?
My usual occupation, investigating a crime.
There's no crime this time, Holmes. Lady dies. Poisoned, they tell me. Absolutely alone she is. Doors and windows locked tight on the inside. Clear case of suicide.
The Scotland Yard method. Reductio ad absurdum.
And what's wrong with that? Whatever it is?
Personally, I prefer to review the facts.
Dr. Tillinghurst says, will you be kind enough to come upstairs, gentlemen? He's waiting outside her ladyship's door.
We'll be right up. Thank you, Potters.
Great Scott! What's that unearthly racket?
It's Bobo, her ladyship's dog. Dr. Tillinghurst says he's been carrying on like that on her threshold ever since he took him out of the room and closed the door.
Bobo, don't! Oh, stop him, somebody.
She knows she's lying there dead, poor little creature.
Can't you make him stop, Dr. Tillinghurst? He's always been so fond of you.
Make him stop. He won't even let me near the door. Nice, Bobo. Be a good dog. There, you see.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dr. Tillinghurst. This is Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, how do you do, sir?
How do you do? Suppose we allow Scotland Yard to handle the situation.
Think I want to have my hand taken off by a vicious brute? No, thanks.
But he's not vicious. At least he never was before.
Very well. I'll take over. Mr. Sherlock Holmes to the rescue. That's enough, Bobo. We know how you feel. That's right. Quiet down.
Well, now look at that. He's crawling over to him. He's letting himself be picked up. He's licking his ear.
Wanted to tell me something, is that it? Yes, I understand. I understand very well, old fellow. Now, Dr. Tillinghurst, the inspector and I will see if we can get to the bottom of this mystery.
It's no mystery to me, Holmes.
That's what you think, my dear Lestrade. That's what you think. Now, if you'll follow me, gentlemen. This will be rather unpleasant, Miss Kitty. You'd better remain outside.
You see, Inspector Lestrade, the pupils are definitely contracted. Face pale, extremities cyanotic.
Right you are, Dr. Tillinghurst. It's poison, all right. But which one?
We won't know until we've made tests, of course. I sent Miss Kitty out for a solution of ferric chloride. If it's opium or one of its derivatives, as I suspect, that should do the trick.
Dr. Tillinghurst, were you in the habit of prescribing opium or any of the other somniferous poisons for Lady Blenkinsop?
Certainly not.
I say, Holmes, look here. The brandy bottle has been tipped over. All the brandy's run out on the carpet.
Oh, poor Lady Blenkinsop. She always said she'd die when the brandy was gone, and now it is, and so is she.
Oh, that'll do, Potters. We've no time for idle superstition.
Yes, sir.
If you ask me, it's a plot. Whoever spilled the brandy knew it had been poisoned. Didn't want to leave any about to be tested.
The brandy was not poisoned, Watson. Here, notice the wax that sealed the cork. That wax was melted over that cork when Lady Blenkinsop was a girl. She herself removed it last night after she'd locked her door when she was by herself.
Well, at least she did have a drink of it on her birthday, poor old soul. And here it is now seeped into the carpet. What a dreadful waste.
You say she never took a sedative, Dr. Tillinghurst, or a painkiller of any sort?
That she did, sir. A bit of laudanum when she got a toothache.
Oh, yeah. Of course, I did prescribe laudanum a year or so ago. Christmas it was, I think. Yes, when she developed an ache in a lower bicuspid.
Did Lady Blenkinsop suffer from frequent toothaches, Potters?
Only when she was excited, sir. Like holidays and birthdays, and now and then when she bet on a horse.
Then yesterday being her birthday, she probably developed a toothache and took a dose of laudanum before retiring.
Of course, that explains it all. Laudanum is an opium derivative. She took an overdose. You know, I never could persuade her to be accurate. Her confounded Gallic temperament. Potters, do you know where she kept her medicines?
Oh, yes, sir. Top drawer of her dressing table.
Oh, yes, of course, I remember. Let's see. Yes. Yes, here we are. Baffles, liquor, opii sedativus. That's double-strength laudanum. She must have bought this at the apothecary's herself and didn't realize it was at least 4 times as strong as the prescription I gave her. Doesn't take much of an overdose to turn the trick when you're 89.
Well, Holmes, there you are. Now are you satisfied? A plain case of accidental suicide by poison.
I've never doubted that Lady Blenkinsop was doped, Lestrade, and quite probably by her own hand. But that's not what caused her death. No, Lestrade. Lady Blenkinsop was asphyxiated, strangled. The evidence is obvious.
Really, Mr. Holmes? I'm astonished that a man of your reputation should be ignorant of the fact that the symptom of asphyxia and death by one of the somniferous poisons are almost identical.
Yes, he's right, Holmes. Every doctor knows that. Besides, there's no sign of a struggle. If she'd been strangled, she'd have put up a fight.
Not necessarily if she'd been doped first. Tell me, Potters, was Lady Blenkinsop in the habit of wearing her pearls to bed?
I see what you're driving at, Holmes. The pearls did it. Got caught around her neck. And with all that laudanum in her, she never realized they were strangling her.
Wrong again, Lestrade. She was strangled not accidentally by her pearls, but intentionally by someone who saw her helpless condition and held a pillow or perhaps the bedclothes over her mouth until she stopped breathing. In fact, I strongly suspect she came too long enough to put out a hand and upset that bottle of brandy.
Oh, imagination, Mr. Holmes. Pure imagination.
Really? Then how do you account for this lint up her nostrils?
Well, Well, I never noticed.
You didn't notice, Lestrade, because you didn't look. If you perform an autopsy, I've no doubt you'll find more bits of lint in her lungs. Lint from the very finest French linen.
Lady Blenkinsop always bought her linens in France.
Exactly.
Oh, but this is preposterous. How did the chap get in to strangle her? Remember, the doors and windows were still bolted tight when Dr. Tillinghast and the others broke in this morning and found her dead.
When the doctor said he found her dead.
What's the difference?
Why do you suppose he sent the rest of the household out of the house in such a hurry?
Why?
First, because he didn't want them to get a good look at her and realize she wasn't dead, only drugged. And second, and here comes the really diabolical part of the whole affair. Second, so he could come back quietly when the house was empty and finish her off.
Ridiculous. Lot of lies. You can't prove a thing.
No? Then why wasn't Bobo upset when you broke in this morning? Because he knew his mistress was still alive.
No.
Why did he later turn on you and offer to bite you? Because he'd seen you go back and kill his mistress.
Of course, if you're going to put a dumb beast in the witness box.
And why is the brandy splashed on your shoe?
That's not brandy, it's mud. I've been walking in the rain.
Analysis will show what it is, Dr. Tillinghast.
Well, suppose it is brandy. I sometimes stop into a pub on a bad day for a brandy and soda. I may have spilled some on my boots.
That's right, Holmes. What can we prove?
Now, let's be sensible. What reason, what possible motive could I have for killing off one of my best patients?
That's a fact, Holmes. No motive. No possible motive whatsoever.
Would you consider a fabulous rope of pearls worth, say, 8,000 or 10,000 pounds? Would you consider that sufficient motive, my dear Lestrade?
But Lady Blenkinsop's pearls are still obviously on the body.
Those are not the Blenkinsop pearls, Lestrade.
What?
Oh, I'll admit they're very clever imitations. Yes, if you'll investigate that bulge in the doctor's upper left-hand pocket, I think you may discover the genuine pearls. Watson, quick, don't let him get away.
No, you don't. Stop or I'll fill you full of lead.
By Jove, I'm sorry, Holmes. I had no idea the blighter would make a bolt for it.
Don't worry, Watson. I fancy Lestrade is still capable of handling the more rough-and-tumble side of apprehending criminals.
Oh, Mr. Holmes, what happened? I just saw Inspector Lestrade escorting Dr. Tillinghast out of the front door in handcuffs. What does it mean?
My dear Miss Kitty, it means that the criminal has yet to be born who can put anything over on Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
entertaining story, Dr. Watson.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Mr. Harris.
Now, of course, there are one or two small matters that puzzle me. Why did Holmes say the dog had told him something when he picked him up?
A very interesting question with a very interesting answer. I'll give it to you after you've said a few words about the excellent product that foots the bill for us.
Right, Dr. Watson. When you can go to your favorite store and get the nation's most exciting clothes value, that's just good common sense. For the Clipper Craft plan is just another matter of simple logic. So that you receive all the benefits of group purchasing, it concentrates the buying power of 924 leading stores across the country. It makes possible the nation's highest standard of clothes value, brought to you at the leading independent store you really enjoy visiting and that enjoys serving you. Where you're a person, not just another number on a sales check. Now, bear in mind that Clipper Craft clothes are faultlessly tailored from luxurious, long-wearing fabrics, that Clipper Craft smart styles fit to custom perfection. Despite the fact that costs of materials and manufacturing are rising, there are new fall Clipper Craft suits at only $35 and $40. There are a few special models at $43.75. Clipper Craft top coats and overcoats are only $30 to $40, and sport jackets only $24. Selling expensive clothes at inexpensive prices at the nation's finest stores is the great big idea behind the Clipper Craft plan. That's why men who know insist on Clipper Craft clothes. So be sure to visit the Clipper Craft store in your city.
The leading stores in the metropolitan area that bring you Clipper Craft clothes are Saks 34th, Broadway at 34th Street, Manhattan, Abraham & Straus, Brooklyn, the Boulevard Men's Shop, Kresge, Newark, New Jersey, and the B&B Clothes Shop, 164-08 Jamaica Avenue, Jamaica. These great courteous and friendly stores are proud to add their names to that of Clipper Craft and the label of your suit, topcoat, sports jacket, and overcoat.
Your question about Berger, Mr. Harris. When Holmes picked up the dog, he was struck by the fact that his paws were wet with something that smelled suspiciously like brandy. Later, when he entered the death chamber and saw the overturned bottle, he knew exactly what must have happened.
I wonder if I'd have been that smart. One more thing, Dr. Watson.
Yes, Mr. Harris?
What story are you going to give us next week?
Next week, I think it'll be the case of the missing heiress. Or how a very charming and very hot-headed Canadian girl disappeared from her carriage in full regalia on her way to be presented at court.
The makers of Clipper Craft clothes and 924 leading retail stores from coast to coast have brought you the first in a new series of broadcasts featuring the world's most famous detective, Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes is produced and directed by Basil Lochran. Our stories are written by Edith Miser, with special music by Albert Berman. Holmes is played by John Stanley. Dr. Watson by Alfred Shirley. If you don't know your Clipper Craft dealer, write Clipper Craft, 200 Fifth Avenue, New York City. Be sure to listen again next week to Sherlock Holmes in The Case of the Missing Heiress. If you wish to attend the Sherlock Holmes broadcasts in New York, see your local Clipper Craft dealer, and he'll tell you how to obtain tickets. This is Cy Harris speaking for Clipper Craft Clothes. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
From New York City, the makers of Clipper Craft clothes for men and 1,036 leading retail stores from coast to coast present the world's most famous detective, Sherlock Holmes. this week's adventure, the case of the complicated poisoning at Eel Pie Island. Well, here it is, time for our weekly visit to Dr. Watson, but hello, his study's empty. Say, don't tell us the good doctor has forgotten his appointment.
Certainly not. I'm out here on the terrace.
Oh, yes, now we see him on the other side of the French door, stretched out in that deck chair.
Come on out.
Thank you.
There's another for you, Mr. Harris. Make yourself comfortable, and I'll divide a very superior sunset with you.
Fair enough, Doctor. Hello, what's this you've got on? Joseph's coat of many colors certainly couldn't rival that one, Doctor. Don't tell me that's one of Clippercraft's new sport jackets.
Well, no. This is what we called a blazer in my younger days.
Oh, yes.
The sort of outfit Holmes and I used to wear punting on the Thames. As a matter of fact, my wife was going through an old trunk and ran across it the other day. Puts me in mind of the adventure of the poisoning at Eel Pie Island. A case at once violent and diabolically complicated. Yes, having decided to tell that story this afternoon, I appropriately donned the old blazer for the occasion, don't you know?
Well, what does Mrs. Watson think of it?
Oh, she's threatened to leave me if I step off the premises in it.
I see what you mean, Doctor. It is a bit, shall we say, spectacular?
Oh, that's the trouble with the rising generation, Mr. Harris. No individuality. No dash, no style. How do you expect to impress the young ladies of your acquaintance on summer picnics or beach parties and boating expeditions?
Well, by wearing Clippercraft sport coats, of course, Dr. Watson.
Yes, I seem to have led with my chin that time.
Oh, not at all. Just you take Mrs. Watson along when you go down to look at the new Clippercraft tropical suits and sport jackets. She'll be pleased to take you anywhere in any of them, I'll bet you. And she'll be doubly pleased because they won't knock holes in the family budget either. The man who insists on Clippercraft clothes says goodbye to high prices insofar as his clothing budget is concerned, for Clippercraft clothes have never been anything but high in quality and low in price. And that goes for today, too, despite rising costs of materials and manufacturing. But great values like Clippercraft would not be possible without the famous Clippercraft plan. The plan's the reason you can buy high-quality Clippercraft suits for only $40 to $47.50. Fine tropicals for summer wear for only $33.75 to $40, and smart sport jackets for only $26.50. Yes, the great Clippercraft plan that concentrates the buying power of 1,036 of the nation's finest stores from coast to coast provides steady year-round operation, reduces manufacturing and distribution costs, and delivers the savings to you. Now, for your own sake, we urge that you compare Clippercraft with clothes selling for many dollars more. See your Clippercraft dealer tomorrow. But now, back to the fatal poisoning on Eel Pie Island. The title sounds indigestible to begin with, Dr. Watson. Eel Pie Island. Look, is there really such a place?
Oh, the ignorance of the man. If you'd ever been boating on the Thames, you'd know it well. Yes, Eel Pie Island lies in the prettiest stretch of the river between Richmond and Hampton Court. Furthermore, it has a very popular inn which is famous for its ale and its eel pie.
Oh, naturally.
Cold, refreshing mug of ale after a pull up the river in a hot sun and a delicious slice of cold eel pie.
I could certainly go over the first item, Dr. Watson, but I'm not quite so sure about the second.
You know, Mr. Harris, that's exactly what Holmes said some 20 or so years ago. It was Sunday afternoon, and Mary was expecting some relatives for tea. Noticing my agonized expression, she handed me this blazer and suggested Holmes and I go for our annual June boating expedition up the Thames. Consequently, 4 o'clock found us in a 4-oared skiff, briskly past Ham House. The Jacobean seat of the Earl of Dysart, back in 1610, of course.
Oh, obviously.
Yes, we were skimming. Holmes was as fresh as a daisy after miles pull up from Richmond. I'm afraid I had begun to melt.
Get you back into it, Watson.
Roke.
Watson, that's the third time you've missed count.
Sorry, Holmes. My stomach is getting in the way.
That's what comes of being a married man. Meals at regular hours. Nothing to jolt you out of your rut.
I was guilty out of it 4 years when I rejoined during the late war. I enjoy my rut, thank you. I don't wish to be guilty out of it again.
You mean you don't ever miss the old Baker Street days? The excitement, the suspense, the danger?
I enjoyed it all in retrospect. I say, Holmes, that Eel Pie Island up ahead. What do you say we pull under those willows for a bit of a breather, eh?
I don't need a breather.
I wonder if the ale at the inn is as cool as I remember it. Brown, tangy, I can just feel it trickling down my throat. And the eel pie, crushed all flaky and tender.
I have no interest whatever in eel, Watson. Nasty, slimy fish. Besides, we're in duty bound to demolish the contents of the hamper Mrs. Watson prepared for us with such loving care. From the contents, I suspect she hoped we'd be gone a week. No, Watson, no eel pie.
Holmes, you unfeeling.
However, I do think I could be interested in a mug of ale.
Yes?
Yes, Watson, they're right.
Thank God you have some human weaknesses.
There we are, all tied up in shipshape. Watson, you unpack the hamper while I go for the ale.
Oh, no, don't bother. I'll go. I want to stretch my legs.
No, Watson, I'll go. I thought of it, sir.
Oh, so you can have an extra mug while you're waiting. No, you don't. We'll both go for the ale.
Come along, then. Oh, careful, you nearly landed in the river.
Oh, it's these white trousers. They must have shrugged since last summer. Can't go bounding about like a mountain chamois the way you do.
That's a perfect day. What is more charming than the Thames on a Sunday in June? The little boats filled with the flower of the countryside, the dainty parasols, the airy dresses, the lacy petticoats so coquettishly displayed.
I thought you were supposed to be a woman-hater.
I was admiring the scene quite impersonally, Watson, from the artist's viewpoint.
Yes.
I have artistic blood in my veins, you know, on my mother's side.
Oh, balderdash.
I've been poisoned.
Holmes, did you hear that?
Yes, it's a fat woman in the purple bombazine of the next trunk. She's managed to terrify completely the little wispy man who's her escort.
Walter, you fool. Get a doctor. You want me to die?
I'm a doctor, madam. May I be of assistance?
Oh, yes, please. Please help us. My sister thinks she's been poisoned.
I know I've been poisoned. It's in my tea.
I just made us a nice pot of tea. It was quite all right, Minnie. I drank some too, you know.
My cup wasn't all right. It tasted bitter.
Then why did you drink it?
I didn't. Just a mouthful. Oh, my stomach. The pain in my stomach. My neck felt stiff all day. The pain in my stomach. Here's the diaphragm. It's contracting.
I shall want hot water.
The tea kettle is still half full. I can light the spirit lamp.
We haven't time. Salt. Have you some salt or mustard?
We have both. Minnie always brings everything.
Good. We shall have to give her a good emetic. Clean out her stomach.
An emetic? No, I won't take it. I won't.
Minnie, don't. Good Lord. I'm in convulsions.
Yes, marked on the topmost.
They are green. Horrible green.
The rhesus sardonicus, Watson. Chronic scandal. I'm afraid we're too late.
Oh, dear. I do wish the police or the coroner would get here. It seems so awful to leave poor Minnie stretched out in the boat. Oh, with that dreadful grin on her poor dead face. If only she hadn't suffered so before she died.
She was very fortunate, Mr.
Weatherby. Walter Weatherby. Minnie was my sister.
Miss Weatherby was very fortunate, Mr. Weatherby. She died remarkably fast, all things considered. If she'd been a younger, stronger woman, death might have been delayed for hours, even days. I take it she had high blood pressure and a weak heart.
Yes, sir. And diabetes, too. We all have it in our family. That is, all but Robert.
Oh?
Thank heaven she went quickly. I can't bear to see anyone suffer. I can't even bear to kill a fly. The only reason I keep that vermin killer in the potting shed is because the nasty things have been destroying my tulip bulbs, don't you know?
Oh, so that's where the strychnine came from.
What strychnine?
The strychnine that made your sister's cup of tea taste so bitter.
Of course, Holmes. That's what brought on those convulsions. Strychnine. They're quite typical.
Were they, Watson?
But of course. The gasping for breath, the protruding eyeballs, the rigidity and convulsions.
But there couldn't have been any strychnine in the tea. I drank 4 cups myself.
Tell me, Mr. Weatherby, did your sister have anything in her tea that you didn't share? Cream? A drop of rum? Bit of mint?
No, nothing like that. We both took it weak with a lot of milk. Oh, Minnie did have strychnine, of course. That is saccharine, I should say. I prefer to go without sweetening myself. We aren't allowed sugar, you know, because of the diabetes.
Saccharine, of course. She carried the pills in a box, a reticule?
Oh, no, sir. She had a plain paper envelope. Here it is on the floor of the punch.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it, I say.
Oh, no, sir. Not if you say not.
Hand it to me, Watson, with your handkerchief.
Very well, Holmes.
Empty.
She used up all the pills, I guess. And no wonder she had 6 cups of tea. Minnie did enjoy her afternoon tea. And she did enjoy all her meals. Poor Minnie.
Holmes, how do you account for the fact that the 5 previous cups were drunk without complications?
Probably because only the 6th saccharine pill was poisonous and bitter. The shock of finding it poisoned, you know, to a woman with her heart, that certainly helped to bring on the convulsions. It was undoubtedly pure accident that pill was saved to the last. You say your sister suffered from diabetes, Mr. Weatherby. She doesn't look it.
Oh, that's because my brother Robert took such good care of her, of all of us. He gives us injections of that new drug, insulin. They discovered it last year. It does wonders for people with diabetes, Mr. Holmes. My brother's been lecturing on it at all the medical schools all over England.
By Jove, of course your brother must be the famous Dr. Robert Weatherby.
Obviously, Watson. Tell me, Mr. Weatherby, how long have you and your sister suffered from diabetes?
Oh, only about 4 months. My other sister, Nellie, had it too. She died 2 months ago. Oh, dear, poor Nellie. She was really my favorite, you know.
Too far gone for the insulin to do much good, I suppose.
Oh, no, sir. None of us had any symptoms of diabetes before last year. I did have my dizzy spells, of course, but we never thought it was anything like that. Oh, no. Thank heaven insulin was discovered in time for us. Not that it seems to have saved Minnie, or Nellie either.
But surely you must realize that your sister didn't die of a diabetic seizure, Mr. Weatherby.
Oh, no. Minnie went the same way as Nellie went, of poison. Only, I didn't do it. You must believe me. I didn't do it.
Say, Holmes, here comes a boat. It's turning in here.
Yes. It's a police launch.
Oh, thank heaven for that. I thought they'd never get here.
Hello there! Is it been a murder?
Well, if it isn't our old friend, the bellowing beagle of Scotland Yard, Inspector Lestrade himself. Welcome, Lestrade. Welcome aboard. We have quite a cargo for you to inspect.
How in thunder you get here?
I am a bird of ill omen, Lestrade. I'm attracted to a crime like a vulture to carrion.
Holmes, really?
So you admit it is a crime?
A murder, Lestrade. A beautifully staged little murder.
But look here. I didn't do it. I'm innocent. I wouldn't hurt a fly.
So it's Mr. Walter Weatherby again. And I suppose this is another sister you've done away with so you could inherit her share of the Weatherby bills?
No, I didn't do it. I didn't hurt Nellie either. I swear I didn't.
I know. You slipped through our fingers the last time. We had our suspicions right enough, but we couldn't prove anything.
The jury thought you looked so meek and mild butter wouldn't melt in your mouth, so they brought in a verdict of suicide. And the poison was found in her cough medicine that time.
Which poison, Lestrade?
Strychnine, Holmes. What else gives people convulsions like the woman just had here, they tell me? This cat's got a pottage shed, a vermin killer all full of strychnine.
But I kept it locked up ever since Nellie killed herself. I carried the key with me.
Interesting.
We don't need any of your fancy deductions this time, Holmes. This time we caught him red-handed. There was no one in the boat but him and his sister. He gave her a cup of tea and it killed her.
He gave her 6 cups of tea, Lestrade. Only the last one seems to have contained anything suspicious. There it is on top of the hamper, and still 3/4 full.
Really? I'm surprised it didn't empty it out.
I never tamper with clues, Lestrade. I merely point them out. It's up to you to draw your own conclusions.
Well, don't worry. I've done that already. This Weatherby chap's guilty, and he won't wiggle out of it this time.
By the way, Lestrade, what do you make of the wool scarf wrapped around the victim's neck? It's a hot day, but Minnie is wearing a purple scarf.
Next, I suppose you'll tell me she wasn't poisoned, she was strangled.
Oh, no, I wouldn't. I mean, I'm not strong enough. Minnie was suffering from a stiff neck. It came on this morning. Robert suggested that I take her out on the river to see if the sun would break it out.
Nevertheless, the scarf is significant, Lestrade, and the violent contractions of the diaphragm. Don't forget those. I suggest you have your best surgeon perform the autopsy.
We won't need any autopsy if we find strychnine in that teacup.
Oh, you'll find strychnine, Lestrade, never fear.
What makes you so sure?
I tasted it, you know. I tasted it.
Talk things over with any of the millions of men who wear Clippercraft clothes, and you'll soon find out why Clippercraft clothes have won more friends than any other label in America. Well-dressed men are loyal to Clippercraft because Clippercraft is loyal to them. Clippercraft is devoted to just one thing: giving you the best clothing value in America. Through the famous Clippercraft plan, you get the benefit of tremendous savings made by concentrating the buying power of 1,036 of the nation's finest stores from coast to coast. Locally owned, independent stores. Stores you can trust. It's the biggest idea that ever hit the clothing industry and eased your clothing budget. Where else can you get such remarkably fine quality in suits for only $40 and $47.50, in tropicals for only $33.75 to $40, and in sport jackets for $26.50? The answer is nowhere else, except in the fine stores everywhere that feature the Clippercraft label. That's why men who know insist on Clippercraft clothes. So be sure to visit the Clippercraft store in your city.
These leading stores in the metropolitan area are proud. In Brooklyn, Abraham and Strauss. In Newark, New Jersey, Boulevard Men's Shop, Kresge Newark. And in Jamaica, 408 Jamaica Avenue.
And now back to Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. We find them in the waiting room of the famous Dr. Robert Weatherby. Watson is decidedly ill at ease.
Holmes, I don't know why you insisted on coming here.
To present our condolences, of course. After all, we were in at the death, as you might say.
Holmes, really?
And to find out more about this new drug. What's it called? Oh, yes, insulin.
Yes, I might have known it was your insatiable thirst for information that brought you, not your humane instinct. Of all the cold-blooded...
Quiet, Watson. Someone's coming.
Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson.
Quite.
The doctor will see you now. Step this way, please.
Oh, thank you. After you, Holmes. This was your idea.
Well, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. This is indeed an honor. I'm indeed grateful for your efforts on my poor sister's behalf.
My colleague, Dr. Watson, was the physician on the case, Dr. Weatherby.
That is, everything possible was done, you understand. I can't begin to express my regret.
Oh, please don't blame yourself, Doctor. I couldn't have done more for her myself, I'm sure. An overdose of strychnine is so violent and so sudden, don't you know.
Then the autopsy showed strychnine.
There was no autopsy necessary, Mr. Holmes. The contents of the teacup proved the case. And then, of course, when my brother confessed...
Confessed?
Yes. It seems he had one of his dizzy spells while my sister was drinking her tea and lay down in the boat for a moment. He must have been unconscious for several moments. At least he doesn't seem to remember what happened during that length of time.
Of course, France. Somnambulistic. He must have administered the poison while in a semi-conscious condition.
Yes, poor Walter. I've always known he subconsciously resented both his sisters. They were so big and robust. Walter was always rather frail. I suppose I should have had him committed after Nellie's death, but, well, somehow I couldn't persuade myself that he was really dangerous.
I see. Would it shock you very much, Dr. Weatherby, if I were to assure you that your brother did not kill either of his sisters?
But, Mr. Holmes, the evidence. The death struggle indicated strychnine. Now, strychnine was found in the teacup. He was the only person with her all afternoon. And then his confession. You can't get around that.
I imagine your brother Walter takes rather easily to any form of suggestion, Dr. Weatherby. With your permission, I should like to have a talk with him. He's in Bow Street Jail, I understand.
That's correct, Mr. Holmes. But I'm afraid you must postpone your interview until later in the day. He's had time to recover from his insulin injection.
He's already had it?
No. As a matter of fact, I was just about to go around to the jail and give it to him.
Splendid. We'll go with you. Dr. Watson is particularly anxious to learn this new technique of administering insulin.
Holmes, really not.
Some other time I shall be delighted.
What's better time than the present? We promised not to discuss your sister's murder, Dr. Weatherby.
But I understand, that is, Scotland Yard is in charge of the case. Would they permit interference?
Scotland Yard has learned it's always wise to allow me to interfere, Dr. Weatherby. It so frequently saves them from making fools of themselves.
This way, gentlemen, please. In here. Wait a moment till I unlock his cell. Step inside, please, gentlemen.
Thank you. Well, Walter, we've come to see you. You remember us, Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson?
Oh, Robert, I didn't think you'd ever want to speak to me again. And these kind gentlemen, Robert, they did all that they could, Robert. It was too horrible the way she died.
Easy, old chap, easy.
But how could I? My mind is all blurry. Everything is all confused.
Yes, that's because you haven't had your insulin.
That's right, Walter. Now, you just wait till I fix the hypodermic. You'll feel better in no time after your injection. Just sit down, Walter. Roll up your sleeve.
Well, quite a little party we're having here this morning. They told me you crashed in again, Holmes.
Morning, Lestrade. Well, if it's against the regulations, Inspector Lestrade, I mean, it was his idea, not mine. He assured me...
Quite all right, Dr. Weatherby. Scotland Yard grumbles a good deal about Sherlock Holmes' interference, but we found out it's sometimes a good idea to let him reign.
Many thanks, Lestrade. As a matter of fact, you came just in time. We are about to witness a very interesting demonstration.
An injection of insulin isn't as drastic as all. In a few years, thousands of people will be getting insulin daily, injecting it themselves in all probability. Now, hold out your arm, Walter.
Then it's really quite harmless. I mean, even to a person not suffering from diabetes.
Oh, yes. It might accelerate the rate of metabolism slightly for a time, but nothing to worry about.
Then Nellie's death and Minnie's death couldn't possibly have been caused by the injection you gave each of them the morning of the day in which they died.
Good Lord, no. What a fantastic idea.
So fantastic, Dr. Weatherby. I'm quite convinced that neither Minnie nor your brother here suffer from diabetes. Your sister Nellie I didn't see, unfortunately.
My dear Mr. Holmes, without a blood test, can you possibly tell?
I have the eye of a trained diagnostician, Dr. Weatherby. The tone of the skin was too healthy, particularly in Minnie's case. No. I suggest you were giving your brother and sister injections for a much more sinister reason, Doctor.
But that's preposterous. Even if they proved not to be diabetic, insulin injections wouldn't harm them.
I grant you all but the final injections were harmless, Doctor.
Nonsense. My sister certainly didn't die from any injections I gave them. Death in both cases was later, much later.
You're positive those injections were harmless?
Positive.
You wouldn't care to prove it by giving yourself the injection you've just prepared for your brother.
Why, that is, if I do, I won't be able to give him his dose. I only have one with me. As you can see, Walter is near collapse.
I won't be responsible if he doesn't get his insulin. I've prepared for that emergency, and Dr. Watson has brought along a small amount of the drug. I'm sure it will suffice.
But this is really too ridiculous. Well, now, I'm not so sure. You say it won't hurt you to take that insulin. Go ahead and take it.
Well, I know it sounds silly, but I've never had the nerve to give myself an injection.
Oh, I'd be happy to oblige.
No, Watson, let me. I'm quite good at it. And I don't want any accidents with the contents of that hypodermic. Now then, give it to me. Give it to me, I say. No, you can't make me. You can't. Stand back. Don't anyone touch that broken hypodermic or the fluid it contains.
Good Lord. Why not?
Unless I'm very much mistaken. It's a particularly deadly culture of tetanus bacteria. I'll just take a sample. Carefully. Between these glass slides. Now, Lestrade, if you'll tell the guard to bring the strongest carbolic acid he can find, I'd say we'll have this case just about washed up.
A nice fellow that Robert Weatherby turned out to be, eh, Dr. Watson? But look, why the strychnine in the first sister's cough medicine and the second sister's teacup?
Because the symptoms of tetanus poisoning and strychnine poisoning are so remarkably similar. Tetanus takes much longer, of course, to develop. Robert could be sure of being at a safe distance when the death occurred.
Diabolical, I'd say.
Yes. Holmes suspected tetanus when he heard of Minnie's stiff neck and noticed the contraction of the solar plexus. Those symptoms do not occur in strychnine poisoning. Of course, I should have noticed them too, but what with the presence of strychnine in the cup, it's so easy to jump to the wrong conclusions, which is what Robert Weatherby had counted on.
But again, why did Dr. Weatherby plant the strychnine?
To implicate his brother, who was known to have a quantity in his possession.
Nothing like killing off the whole family in one fell swoop.
Yes, and he would probably have gotten away with it if Sherlock Holmes hadn't happened along. But now, isn't it about time for that suggestion about next week's story?
It certainly is, Dr. Watson.
Well, next week now, let me think. Suppose I tell you about a visit Holmes and I paid to Castle Mortlake, and how I was splattered with blood from a famous silver chandelier that was supposed to bleed whenever a catastrophe occurred in the family. It wasn't ordinary blood, however. Yes, that was an adventure in which Holmes' knowledge of bee culture came in very handy.
The makers of Clipper Craft Clothes and 1,036 leading stores from coast to coast have brought you another in the new series of broadcasts featuring the world's most famous detective, Sherlock Holmes. Our stories are based upon the character Sherlock Holmes, created by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Sherlock Holmes is played by Joe Watson by Alfred Shirley, and the dramatizations are by Edith Meisler. Sherlock Holmes is produced and directed by Basil Lochran. Special music by Albert Berman. If you don't know your Clippercraft dealer, write Clippercraft, 200 Fifth Avenue, New York City. Be sure to listen next week to Sherlock Holmes in The Case of the Bleeding Chandelier. This is Cy Harris speaking for Clippercraft Clothes. This is a mutual broadcasting system.
WOR, New York. 7 o'clock by Longines, the world's most honored watch. A Longines Whitnor product.
New York City, the makers of Clippercraft Clothes for Men and 1,036 leading retail stores from coast to coast present the world's most famous detective, Sherlock Holmes. Tonight's adventure, the case of the very best butter. Well, here we are once again on the threshold of Dr. Watson's cheerful study. The lamplight streams over the handsome bindings of his library, and the fragrance of many bowls of hyacinths fills the room. The curtains move gently in a slight evening breeze.
And I, for one, am glad to sit down and just listen, Doctor.
Sounds like a bad case of spring fever, Mr. Harris. Yes, I have an idea tonight's story may make you forget that. But before we discuss the case of the highly emotional lady who took a violent interest in butter, suppose you say a few words on a subject every self-respecting male takes quite an interest in nowadays.
You mean how to present a well-groomed appearance without bankrupting his budget. Well, this is an important announcement because it affects the cost of your living. You know very well that the cost of many things you buy has risen considerably. Some costs are still rising. The reasons are many. Increased costs of material, increased labor costs, and so on. Now, it's true manufacturing costs are higher. However, in the face of sharply mounting costs, Clippercraft brings you superbly tailored suits at only $40 and $45. Beautifully made top coats, including fine coverts and worsted gabardines, at only $40 and $45, and sport jackets at only $26.50. Tropicals, too, at $33.75 to $40. Clippercraft offers these amazing values even today because of the unique Clippercraft plan, concentrating the buying power of 1,036 of the nation's finest stores from coast to coast, making possible steady year-round operation, effecting tremendous savings in manufacturing and distribution costs. Only comparison will prove what this means in money saved on your spring clothing budget. Yes, compare Clippercraft with clothes selling for many dollars more. And now, Dr. Watson, back to the lady who was so interested in butter.
Yes, it occurred while I was sharing lodgings with Holmes at 221B, Baker Street.
Honest, Injun, was there ever really such an address as 221B Baker Street?
Oh, this modern generation. Nothing but doubting Thomases. You know, would you believe it? There are people who go so far as to suspect that Sherlock Holmes is nothing but a figment of my imagination.
Sacrilege, Doctor.
Why, it's worse than that. So, to silence all skeptics once and for all, I'd like to read a small item from that guidebook to end all guidebooks, the well-known Baedeker. Writing here on the first shelf somewhere. Here, Baedeker Paris, Baedeker Rome. Oh, here we are, Baedeker's London and the environs.
Don't tell me Baker Street is actually mentioned in Baedeker.
Oh, it is indeed. Yes, I have the page marked somewhere. Yes, this Marylebone Road, Prince Charlotte's Maternity Hospital. No, that's not it. Baker Street Station. Yes, here we are. Baker Street. Chief thoroughfare between Oxford Street and Marylebone Road. Mrs. Siddons lived from 1817 till her death in 1831 at number 27 Upper Baker Street. House demolished. Tablet. Lord Lytton, the novelist, was born at number 68 in 1803. Tablet. And William Pitts lived in 1802-04 at number 120. Tablet. Sherlock Holmes also had rooms there.
Don't tell me there's no tablet at 221B, Doctor.
Oh, well, not yet. Give us time. After all, Holmes is still mortal. Tablets are for the immortals, Mr. Harris.
Well, that certainly should settle any doubts about Mr. Sherlock Holmes' reality once and for all.
I certainly hope so. Well, as I was saying, it was in the good old Baker Street days. It was rather latish of a gloomy afternoon. I'd remained indoors all day, for the weather had taken a sudden turn to rain, and my practice wasn't too thriving at the moment. With my body in one easy chair and my legs upon another, I listened with growing irritation to Holmes as he practiced interminable scales, roulades, glissandos, and what have you on his violin. At last, a particularly screeching dissonance was more than my frazzled nerves could bear. Holmes, must you do that?
Calm yourself, my dear Watson. I was not responsible for that last bit of cacophony. It was caused by the scraping of a carriage wheel against our curb. Yes, we are about to receive a client. A rather portly lady of means, unless I'm very much mistaken.
Well, how can you possibly tell? You haven't even bothered to look out of the window.
The outraged creak of the carriage springs as its passenger descended to the pavement indicates a person of substance. The tap of French heels on the pavement indicates the person's a lady. And the fact that the vehicle remained at the curb indicates that it's either a private carriage or a public conveyance that's been told to wait. Either eventuality indicates a person of means.
I swear I heard nothing except the first scrape against the curb. I must say, Holmes, you have ears like a hawk.
Your metaphor is a trifle mixed, my dear Watson, but I accept your tribute. Come in.
Mr. Holmes? Mr. Holmes? Mr. Sherlock Holmes?
Naturally. This is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson.
Oh, how do you do?
Thank heavens you're at home. You must dine with me tonight, both of you. I may need a doctor as well as a detective.
Interesting. I mean, what brings you to that rather startling conclusion?
I am in grave danger, and you are the only person who can save me.
How, madam?
My husband wishes to be rid of me. I am being poisoned. Systematically, cold-bloodedly poisoned. That is, I was, until I hired an old nurse of mine to do the cooking and refused to eat anything that wasn't served to everybody in the house on a common plate, hot or tureen.
So that if poison were present, all members of your household would be in equal danger.
Exactly. I'm no fool.
How many members of your household are there, Mrs.
I am Madame de Pavane. My husband is Cubis de Pavane, the famous violinist.
Oh, yes, I've heard him in concert. Remarkable technique. They tell me his trills compare favorably with Paganini.
Oh, yes, Cubis is a great violinist. If you've heard him play, you have doubtless also seen my daughter, who plays his accompaniment. My husband, my daughter Therese, and myself. There are only 3 of us in the household. We are, I may say, the eternal triangle. Cubis is infatuated with Therese.
Well, really?
Your daughter, I gather, Madame de Pavane, is the child of a previous marriage.
Yes and no. As a matter of fact, she's my stepdaughter, the child of my first husband by his first marriage.
Rather a complicated menage, Watson.
Quite.
Oh, I was a fool to marry a man so much younger than myself. But Cubis was, well, ardent. You know what these Latins are, Mr. Holmes. Swept me right off my feet. Would you believe it? He refused to eat or sleep until I named the day. It all happened in the south of France, that land of languor and romance.
Oh, I see it all. The courtship, the honeymoon, the return home, the meeting with the daughter of the household, the inevitable call of youth to youth.
Cubis isn't that young, Dr. Watson. I'm not a cradle snatcher. And besides, he'd known Therese long before I met him. She accompanied him on a concert tour, much against my better judgment, I will say. I sometimes think their romance may have blossomed even then.
Yes, but in that case, why did Monsieur de Pavane marry you, or not your stepdaughter?
Because, Dr. Watson, I happen to be the one who has the money.
These realistic Frenchmen, Watson? Tell me, Madame de Pavane, when did you first suspect you were being poisoned?
About a month ago. I began to have a marked distress after every meal.
You don't think it could have been flatulence brought on perhaps by overeating?
Certainly not. I have an extraordinarily good digestion plus an excellent appetite.
Obviously.
Well, I will say Hughes has tried to persuade me to eat less of the fattening foods, but I tell him that here in England men appreciate fine figure of a woman. No, Mr. Holmes, I know the difference between flatulence and a definite and even painful burning sensation in the pit of my stomach. And I can guess what causes it when I see that the weed killer I keep for the garden is disappearing in the middle of the winter.
Weed killer? But that's full of arsenic.
I know that. I'm no fool. That's why I sent for Nanny 3 weeks ago to do the cooking.
What a pity you didn't come to me instead. I should have enjoyed making the Reinsch test on the contents of your stomach. Now, of course, after 3 weeks, it would be very difficult to prove the presence of arsenic in your system. Short of an autopsy, of course.
Well, I'm not giving anyone a chance for that. Not if I can help it.
I take it you've had no further distress since your nurse was brought in to do the cooking?
No, that I haven't.
Then why do you come to me at this late date?
Because I think Cubis is getting set for another try. He leaves tonight for a concert tour of the continent. I have forbidden Therese to accompany him. But just half an hour ago, I heard them plotting together. I was counting the silver in the butler's pantry when I heard them come into the dining room. They didn't know that I was listening.
I don't care what she says. I can't. I won't go without you.
But you'll have to, Cubis. You have a week before your first concert. You'll be able to find another accompanist in Paris.
But I don't want another accompanist, Therese. I want you. You know I can't do anything if you aren't with me. You've got to come with me. Sneak out of the house when she's not looking.
But I can't do that, Cubis, dear. She'll disown me. I'll be disinherited. We both start.
Confound the woman. She only weren't so big-headed and so rich.
I tried to persuade her, Cubis, but she won't listen.
She won't listen to words, perhaps. There are other ways of persuading people. Therese, promise me that if anything should happen, you will come to me by the next boat.
Of course. But what could happen?
Don't worry. I have a plan. A neat little plan. And it shouldn't take too long to work out.
A rather ambiguous conversation, if you'll permit me to say so, Madame de Pavane. What makes you so sure your husband will try to poison you at dinner tonight?
First, because it's his last meal at home. The boat train leaves at 9:30. And second, because I found this bottle in the waste paper basket in his study.
A pharmacist's bottle with a label partly torn off. The letters P-O-I-S Still visible.
P-O-I-S. Holmes, if you add O-N, that spells poison.
Brilliant, my dear Watson. Positively scintillating. There seems to be a small bit of white crystalline powder still left at the bottom of the bottle. What do you make of it, Watson?
Well, from the look and the smell, it might be Epsom salt. Holmes, what are you doing?
Tasting it.
What?
Just the slightest suspicion of a taste, Watson. Yes, it's slightly acrid and metallic. That, too, might be Epsom salts. Want to try it, Watson?
No, thanks. I'm not interested in tasting anything that comes in a bottle marked poison.
Perhaps you're right. Yes, I think perhaps we should try some more extensive tests before we make up our minds about the contents of this bottle, madame.
I don't care what you do, but don't be late for dinner. We dine at 7:30. The address is 49 Rathbone Place. You enter from Oxford Street. It's close to Tottenham Court Road.
We shall be there, madame. On the dot.
Well, here we are, Holmes. Rathbone Place. The name sounds vaguely familiar.
Yes, you may have heard me mention it, Watson. The street is named after a distant connection of mine.
I say, just what did you find in the bottom of that bottle, Holmes?
Antimony.
Antimony? But that's deadly poison.
Quite. It's also a constituent of many crack pills. Monsieur de Pavane may be dosing himself for anything from blood pressure to hangnails.
Well, just the same, it doesn't improve my appetite to know we're dining at a house where there's poison about. What if he gets in the wrong person's soup?
Perhaps we should have brought your stomach pump.
Don't be indelicate, Holmes. Personally, I shall follow Madame de Pavane's example and eat or drink nothing that doesn't come from a community dish.
Very sensible, Watson. Very sensible indeed. Yes, here we are. Number 49. Give the bell a pull, Watson. There's a good chap.
Right, sir. Well, I must say there's nothing particularly sinister looking about the house, eh, Holmes? Nice, cheerful little ruffled curtains.
Yes. The poisoners have been known to live in the most innocuous surroundings.
Holmes, I do wish you'd refrain from indulging your sepulchral sense of humor.
Yes, sir.
That is, if Madame de Pavane lives here, I believe we're expected.
But this is a great honor. Come in, gentlemen, come in. Who will believe me when I say I have the honor of entertaining the world's master detective and his ami, the good doctor?
Oh, then you recognize us?
Naturally. Who does not know the great Sherlock Holmes? Besides, my wife has taken great trouble to impress upon me just who it is she has invited to dinner.
Oh, that's certainly forthright of her, eh, Holmes?
Madame is a forthright person. She says what she thinks, even when she changes her mind. But will you not step into the parlor? We shall have a glass of sherry. Madame and her charming daughter will be down directly.
Thank you, but you know, I don't think that is not before dinner. I mean, it might take away my appetite.
Oh, come, Dr. Watson. It is such excellent sherry. Here, I pour from the decanter for you. For the great Mr. Sherlock Holmes. And for myself.
Oh, well, in that case, eh, Holmes?
Sunday, monsieur, to your continued good health. But what do you wait for? Bottoms up, as they say. I see. You wish to see if I drink first. Very well, so. You see, it is quite harmless.
Well, that's a relief.
May I say, monsieur, it is no secret to me why you are here. My poor wife thinks she is being poisoned, and she suspects me.
Well, that's frank of you, I must say.
Why not be frank, Monsieur Doctor? I have nothing to hide. Yes, you are a medical man. You must realize that many women, particularly if they are well-bred, and shall we say, a bit high-strung, when they come to a certain age, they develop curious ideas. You do not know how quickly Madame Pavane recovers from her little eccentricities. You know how these things are, Dr. Watson?
Oh, yes. I must say, if the lady's suffering from an idée fixe, you're very wise to go away and give it a chance to blow over.
You are planning to go alone, Monsieur de Pavane?
But of course.
What about an accomplice?
Oh, you mean very. I think at this time it is best she stay with her mother. After all, I do not want to leave her entirely alone. She might develop a melancholia.
Very understanding of you, Monsieur de Pavane.
But I am a man of the world. I have traveled. You see, I know many women. I understand them better, perhaps, than you Englishmen.
Perhaps.
And now, if you will excuse me, I must see if Madame needs my assistance. Her maid is not very strong, and since Madame has put on a few pounds, she needs a man to, what you call, hook her up the back. Please do pour yourself more sherry in my head. Now that you know it is safe. I'll promise.
Well, Watson, what do you make of our friend, the violinist?
Well, you know, Holmes, he may be perfectly right. Madame de Pavane may be suffering from a slight form of female hysteria.
Then in that case, why has he booked 2 passages to France? See, here are the tickets sticking out from beneath this blotter. One is for tonight. The other is for a week from now.
So, Sherlock Holmes didn't think Monsieur Pavane was as innocent as he pretended to be, Doctor.
No, Mr. Harris. Don't ask me what Holmes thought. No one ever knew that, not even I, until afterwards. Well, pretty soon the maid announced...
Here you are, sir.
What's that?
The sherry slips you ordered, Dr. Watson, for you and Mr. Harris.
Oh, yes, thank you, Kitty. Right on cue.
Well, Dr. Watson, this is what I call hospitality.
Yes, I thought we might take a breather and drink a toast to our sponsor's continued success.
Righto. Fine local independent stores in every community report increasing demand for Clippercraft. So every day, even more millions of men are becoming acquainted with unrivaled Clippercraft values. These values are the result of the Clippercraft plan, which is just about the best possible example of the true American way in production. The famous Clippercraft plan concentrates the buying power of 1,036 of the nation's finest stores from coast to coast. Perfectly amazing economies result, and here's the answer. You can secure truly fine Clippercraft suits this spring for only $40 and $45, and superb top coats in fine coverts and worsted gabardine at only $40 and $45, sport jackets for only $26.50, and tropicals at $33.75 to $40. See these remarkable values tomorrow. Yes, selling expensive clothes at inexpensive low prices at the nation's finest stores is the great big idea behind the Clippercraft plan. That's why men who know insist on Clippercraft clothes. So be sure to visit the Clippercraft store in your city.
These leading stores in the metropolitan area are proud to add their names to Clippercraft in your suits, top coats, sport jackets, and tropicals. In Manhattan, Saks 34th, Broadway at 34th. John Wanamaker Men's Stores, Broadway at 8th and 67 Liberty Street. In Brooklyn, Abraham and Strauss. In Newark, New Jersey, Boulevard Men's Shop, Kresge Newark. And in Jamaica, the B&B Clothes Shop, 16408 Jamaica Avenue.
Well, now that we've had our pause for refreshment, suppose we return to our story. Huh?
Fair enough, Doctor.
As I was saying, pretty soon the Pavane's little parlour maid announced dinner. Holmes and I repaired to the dining room where we found Madame de Pavane and her stepdaughter, a rather toothy female, already seated at either end of the table. Monsieur Pavane stood in back of his chair at the far side. Madame, who was ladling soup out of a large tureen, her napkin tucked well over her bodice, turned and pointed imperiously to the 2 empty chairs at the near side.
You sit here, Mr. Holmes, next to me. Dr. Watson, you sat there, next to Therese.
Oh, delighted, I'm sure.
I'm afraid this soup isn't as thick as it should be. Old Nanny isn't the best cook in the world, but at least I know that it won't give me a stomachache.
Oh, darling, you have such a delightful sense of humor. Soup of the evening, beautiful soup. You know the songs from Alice in Wonderland, Mr. Holmes? They've been so charmingly set to music by Lisa Lehman.
Never mind Alice in Wonderland, Hubert. You may pour out the claret.
Certainly, my dear.
No, not from that bottle. The one that's not been opened, with the cork still sealed.
Perhaps Dr. Watson will do the honor. He looks like a person who could handle a bottle.
What's that?
I confess quite freely that I have never been able to master that little object you call the corkscrew.
Oh, of course, if you like.
Here it is.
Oh, a magnificent vintage, madame.
My father laid down quite a respectable cellar before he died.
Bravo, bravo. And now to add further to the festivity of this occasion, I have a special surprise for my dear little wife.
Oh? What's that?
Butter. You may not know it, Mr. Holmes, but ordinarily I do not approve of butter on the dinner table. Bread, I believe, should be eaten in the continental fashion, with just a pinch of salt. My wife, however, bless her dear little heart, has a weakness for butter, even though it is forbidden by the doctor. However, tonight, being my last meal at home, and to honor 2 such distinguished guests, I myself went out and bought a roll of butter. And here it is, in a beautiful silver butter dish.
Oh, yes, pretty. But I really don't think I ought to.
Come, my dear. There is no possible danger. It is all in one piece. You can cut off your portion for yourself, and we will all follow suit.
Does look so good.
I assure you, my dear, it's the very best butter. That, too, is from Alice in Wonderland, Mr. Holmes.
Oh, yes, that tea party. Another, shall we say, unusual meal?
Ah, delightful, delightful. Allow me, my dear. I'll cut you a piece of butter from this end.
No, thank you. I'll do it myself. From the other end.
As you please. And now, for our guest. 1, 2 pieces. And another piece for little Therese, who is almost as fond of butter as her charming mamma.
Oh, Phoebus.
And last but not least, I too shall indulge. There. Now, my dear, if you will pass the bread.
Oh, allow me.
Oh, my gown.
Watson, how could you? You've spilled your wine all over Mr. Raymond's
Clumsy fool.
But I wasn't anywhere near the
Your
glass.
best blue frock, Tracy. Now, drink.
That will do, Pubis. Teresa's frock isn't that important. If it spoils, I'll buy her a new one.
I apologize to my friend, madame. There are times when he's like a great, big Newfoundland dog.
What?
I know you didn't mean to, old boy.
No, as my wife says, what is it, Therese will have many more. I apologize if I have been hasty. My nerves, you understand, before a concert tour are always a little on the edges, as you say in English. But come, let us enjoy the meal. If I may trouble you for the bread, Mr. Holmes.
Certainly. Well, bon appetit, as you say in French.
Another cup of coffee, Pubis?
No, my dear. Many thanks. Excellent meal. I only hope I shall not regret crossing the channel.
Let us hope that you will not regret many things crossing the channel.
A very cryptic remark, Mr. Holmes. But if by any chance anything should occur, you are here to prove my conscience is clear, sir? Nothing like having the greatest of all detectives as a witness to one's innocence.
You two may know what you're talking about, but I assure you it's gibberish to the rest of us.
Beg pardon, madame.
Yes, what is it?
The master's carriage, the one we ordered to take him to the station, is waiting outside.
Yes, I must not miss my train. Pardon my hasty departure, but you know how it is. My dear, did you pack my goggles?
It's in your medicine case, Pubis, with your toothbrush and your hair tonic and your bismuth and your eye wash. My husband, Mr. Holmes, is a veritable traveling chemist shop.
I hope he carries the antidotes for all of his medicines.
Antidote? You speak in parables, Mr. Holmes. And why should I use an antidote? I have merely one of my wretched sore throats coming. Ah, well. Au revoir, Dr. Watson. Au revoir, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Bon voyage, Monsieur de Pavane.
Morning, Holmes.
Morning.
Well, I must say that was a curious dinner party last night. What's for breakfast?
Kippers, and don't monopolize them.
Tasty. Well, I gather Madame de Provence survived the evening. I left word that she was to send for me immediately if she felt the slightest qualm. If you ask me, Monsieur de Provence was quite correct in his diagnosis of prostate.
Yeah.
The old girl's stomach aches and suspicions were probably a mild form of female hysteria.
I wasn't concerned in the least for Madame de Pavan's safety, Watson. It was her husband I rather wondered about.
What do you mean?
You haven't read the morning papers, I take it. Here, take a look at this item.
Famous violinist dies in channel crossing. Louis de Provence succumbs to nausea and convulsions. Good Lord, what?
Yes, I rather thought he might. As I suspected, the butter was poisoned. Antimony.
Poisoned?
Careful, Watson, you spilled your coffee.
But I ate some of that butter. You ate some of it. So did everyone else.
Calm yourself. The poison was all in the end portion where Monsieur de Pavane so carefully put it. The piece that Madame de Pavane cut off for herself.
Yes, but he offered her the other end.
Naturally, Watson. He knew she'd be contrary. Monsieur de Pavane was a very shrewd judge of his wife's character.
Oh, but great Scott, suppose she hadn't turned it around. One of the rest of us might have had the poison slice.
No, Watson, I rather imagine if that had happened, Monsieur de Pavane would have continued serving from the harmless end and left the poison bit instead of serving from the other end. It was this, shall we say, change of direction that made me suspect he was up to no good.
Yes, but look here, Holmes, it still doesn't make sense. It wasn't Madame de Pabane who died. It was her husband.
Naturally. Why do you think I upset that glass of claret over the daughter's dress?
I might have known it was you.
I did it in order to create a diversion so I could shift Monsieur and Madame's butter plates without anyone being the wiser. Of course, even there was no proof that the butter was poisoned. I did it just in case.
Then you didn't actually know the butter was poisoned until you read the morning's paper?
Oh, no, Watson, but antimony, as you doubtless remember, is rather a slow-acting poison. One of the first symptoms, however, is a soreness of the throat. I suspected the little Frenchman had taken a dose of his own poison when he inquired about his gargle. That's why I advised him to use an antidote, remember?
You think he understood that warning?
Quite.
Well, but then why didn't he take the antidote?
He knew we were onto him, Watson. Rather than face the consequences of his crime, he decided to let nature take its course. Yes, steer me another kipper, Watson, if you can spare it.
Well, that was a lurid dinner party, Dr. Watson.
Yes, Mr. Harris. Meals with Sherlock Holmes were often rather rough on the nervous system. Oh, the doses of bicarbonate I used to consume. Oh, well, that's neither here nor there. I dare say you'd like to inquire about next week's story, Mr. Harris.
That's right, Dr. Watson. What are we to have next week?
No more poisoned butter. That I can promise you. No, next week I think I'll tell you how Holmes and I encountered a strange 17th century highwayman on the wilds of Hampstead Heath. He was known as Jack-o'-lantern because he carried a lighted skull for a lantern. There was another Jack in the story as well, a Jack of diamonds.
The makers of Clippercraft Clothes and 1,036 leading stores from coast to coast have brought you another in the new series of broadcasts featuring the world's most famous detective, Sherlock Holmes. Our stories are based upon the character of Sherlock Holmes, created by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Sherlock Holmes is played by John Stanley, Dr. Watson by Alfred Shirley, and the dramatizations are by Edith Miser. Sherlock Holmes is produced and directed by Basil Lochran, with special music by Albert Berman. If you don't know your Clippercraft dealer, write Clippercraft, 200 Fifth Avenue, New York City. Be sure to listen next Sunday to Sherlock Holmes in The Return of the Jack of Diamonds. Harris speaking for Clippercraft Clothes. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.